Welcome to the Skeleton Stewdios podcast with Mark and Sam. Today we are joined by our special guest, Joe Wolfe. Hello, Joe.
Yo.
How you been, man?
Pretty good. Nice to see you guys.
All right, well, in this week's episode, we're going to discuss being driven towards your passion and harnessing your skills. I think Joe is an excellent guitar player, and I'd like to discuss how he got to where he is.
Yep. We were talking about 10,000 hours a couple podcasts ago, and we actually used guitar playing as an example. And we were like, yo, you'd think playing guitar for like an hour or two a day would get you there. And it's just like...
It's a lot of days.
Yeah, you got to do that for years. You got to play like 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, you know?
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
Crazy.
Well, let's get right into it. Everybody always wants to be good at something. You might want to be good at basketball. You might want to be an amazing painter, or you want to be a master at guitar. Joe took a liking to that last one, and this guy is a dedicated guitar player. Joe, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you got into guitar in the first place?
I started playing bass, and then Steve Kessler, a lot of people listening to this might know him, plays drums in our band, but he kind of actually taught me like the first few chords at his house on a square.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were on bass first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a bass first. My mom had a fiance who passed away, died like before they got married, and he left bass around the house. He was like a bass player, so it was like casually there. I didn't really start doing it too hard, but I did end up buying one eventually, getting my own bass.
I do remember that you learned on bass first, and then from there you transition into guitar.
Yeah, I still love bass. I still love playing bass. I still do it a little bit, like when I can.
So you got your foundation there.
Yeah, the
Cool.
gist of it. Yeah, they're similar in a lot of ways, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Looks carrying your rhythm through all your guitar riffs and stuff too, you know?
Yeah, I would definitely. I think I lean towards like I like rhythm-esque stuff more, I'd say, than like face melters. It's not really my thing.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And what, you just fell in love with it from there?
Yeah, it's
Obsessed?
just super fun.
Is that
Yeah, I mean, I used to play. I mean, I still play all the time, but I used to like make a point to play like all the time. Now I don't really have to like make a point to do it, and I can like feel comfortable. But you always gotta be. You know, it's just like it's not like I ever have to like make a choice to play or not. It's usually I could not play. It's weird because sometimes if I don't pick up the guitar, and like if it's laying around, or if I don't pick it up, I won't play for a while, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't played guitar today. And once you pick it up once during the day, it's just kind of like hard to put it down. It's just weird. Maybe that's just. I'm sure it's like that for a lot of things.
That's called being obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like once you get a taste.
For sure.
It's like, oh, okay, I'll play some more. I'll do some more of that.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about dedication. Like, where do you think that dedication comes from?
Desperation, probably. Yeah. At this
Yeah?
point, yeah. I don't know what else to do.
Well, what
a job
about-
you love more than guitar yet?
No, I mean, painting houses is fun.
What about a few years ago, though? Where were you pulling that dedication from? Because as long as I've known you, you've never been able to put a guitar down.
Yeah, we've known.
And the first thing you did when you came in here today was play guitar.
It's like a magnet. If wherever you are, you find the guitar in that household, and you're off in a room by yourself tinkering around with it.
Yeah, as long as you're not like the guy at the party who like finds the guitar and starts.
No, that's not. Yeah, playing some Wonderwall.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's not.
But we're all friends.
Yeah, you just like tinker around with it, and you're just having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a security thing, I guess. Probably.
Yeah, I remember one time I was talking to you about guitar, and we got into a conversation about it, and you said something like, there's no other toy that I've ever played with that can rack my brain like this thing does. I can play with this for hours and hours and hours on end, and I never get bored of it. And you're just like, it's just the coolest toy. And I don't know, I really like that. I liked how you referenced it as like a toy.
Right.
And it's just like, this thing to you is like a Rubik's Cube,
Right.
but you can never solve it. is how you put it down.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way about
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah, I guess I said it best back then.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good way to put it.
When did you discover that you were able to just pick it up and play? Because I've dabbled with guitar. I played with it for years. So has Mark.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I don't have the ability. I can like go in and play some like pentatonic blues riffs and stuff, but I can't like
You
make it
fully
sing.
understand.
You understand the guitar.
layout of everything.
Yeah, to a certain... I mean, there's a lot of people that are more technically inclined. I'll sit around with a lot of friends even that, like, teach me something new, but I can generally, like, apply things to my own, I guess, the way I play and the reasons I play, which is generally, just for, like... The guitar is... if it wasn't guitar, it would be something else. It's just guitar is super accessible, I
Right.
guess. You know what I mean?
Was there a point where that you actually felt that happen? Like it was like one day you're like, holy crap, or was it more like you just kind of woke up one day and were like, oh,
You
wait,
look
I know how
back
to
and
play.
you're like,
No,
wow,
I don't think it ever, like...
It wasn't like a moment or like
I
you
don't
had a
think it
show
ever-
or anything.
I don't think you ever feel like...
you're
like
amazing.
comfortable with anything. Like I don't even, or even comfortable. You know what I mean? Like there's a point where
You're like, I'm all right.
when you're proficient and you can like sit in the room and like add to what someone's doing. That's my favorite part of it, I guess, would be to like actually be able to apply this skill to like a greater goal. Like,
For sure,
like
man.
in the
Yeah.
studio with someone and like, oh, I have a good idea what to do under there. Or, even if it's on a bass, you know what I mean? Like
I noticed that in Jiv's music a lot. It's never the Joe show for sure. You guys
Right.
are always working
Yeah.
on each other's stuff, and it's a culmination of all the music, all the instruments.
So,
I don't even like
Jiv,
guitar solos generally.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a few, but it's just like
Not much.
sometimes it's like a joke. It's just like
let the dude
check
go,
this out.
yeah.
Like it's like a joke. It's not
Yeah.
like
so Jiv, what Sam just referenced, that's Jivviden. That's a band Joe formed with Matt Sycon and Steve and Tanti.
Mhm.
And,
yeah. It's us. John Chips is in the band now too.
Yep.
Yeah, he plays a little bit of everything and
It's on the organ now too, right? Is that what
yeah,
I
he plays keys,
Cool, man.
plays guitar in a couple tracks, does some auxiliary percussion, does a lot of stuff live.
So that's this whole project that came out of you developing your skill to play guitar, and that's Jivviden. You want to spell it?
Yeah, Jivviden.
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, Jiv for short. All right, but I think it's definitely safe to say that guitar is one of your favorite items in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you'd
Absolutely.
be without it?
I don't know, it's hard to say. I might have a lot more money. I feel a little bit more. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But probably,
No,
it's
it's
probably
probably-
true.
that's
Yeah,
not
we all know when we pick up expensive hobbies, it's like, and it doesn't have to be that expensive actually. But I don't know. It would probably just be something else. Who knows? Maybe it would be piano or saxophone or something. It would probably just like
You think it'd just be a different instrument?
Anything else? Yeah.
Still in music though, probably.
Yeah. Who
Do you
knows?
see yourself like
Drums.
getting obsessed with another instrument as much in the future?
Maybe not
Is that your
as
baby?
so much, but like I said, I like having other stuff around. It would be nice to have even like a little piano around to like cut demos on and play chords on piano instead of a guitar. And like I said, like guitar, I guess it's kind of just like that's the instrument that I've kind of, it's just like I said, an accessible one to use, and it's strings are fun. I took to it pretty well, I'd say, but sometimes when I think of something, make something on guitar, write something on guitar, I'll end up like passing it off to Matt and being like, yeah, we should play these chords. Let's try this on piano, and it'll end up a piano heavy song. I'm not like married to the guitar. It's like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, in our first episode of the podcast, we were talking all about getting your 10,000 hours. That's a reference point to become a professional at something. And I think it's safe to say you probably have, over.
I don't even know what would the math be on that.
Well,
So
the
we did
quick
some
math.
breakdowns,
If
yeah.
you're doing 40 hours a week, you're a pro. You get your
10,000.
10,000 hours in a little under 5 years.
It's like 4.9.
So 40 hours a week, 5 years.
Okay.
I'd say
I'm probably
you've
about
been-
there then.
Yeah, you've been
maybe.
playing
I've
for
been playing
15 years?
Well, I've started when I was,
or 10 years.
probably closer to 10. Like, I think I really started. I think I got my first guitar. I know I was in high school when I got my first guitar, so I guess that was kind of a while ago now. Yeah, probably close to that. 10th grade. How old are you in 10th grade? I'm 24
You're
now.
16 in 10th grade.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That
close
would be
to 10 years.
Close to 10 years. Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating when I say Joe probably plays 40 hours a week. I mean, I remember when you were living at the cabin, like I was around a lot, man. You played that thing like 7 hours a day. I remember talking to you about it, like asking you questions about it. That was when I wanted to do the Jivviden documentary.
Right.
And
done it, man.
yeah,
you can still do it.
I mean, here's the start. Here's the start.
It's only getting more fun.
But yeah, I mean, you non-stop played that thing. Where'd Joe go? Oh, he's in his room playing guitar.
Sometimes you don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? It's just like,
if you're
I guess
bored
I'll
in
go
social,
play.
social settings get boring and whatever.
Totally.
So a lot of people have things that they love, but they're not always in the mood to do that thing. Does that happen to you, and how do you fight through that to keep practicing and playing?
Yeah. That's definitely true. And like I said earlier, sometimes it takes me to like actually pick it up once before I actually like get the bug, and like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna work on some stuff. I mean, I very rarely just sit down and like work on my chops and like run through scales and stuff, but it's usually just like different songs and just demoing songs out and like listening back to them and kind of getting better at structuring stuff but before you know it, you've spent a lot of time like when you're doing that kind of like work. It's like all over the place, and I'll often have like an electric guitar out. If I got the house to myself, and I'm like, I'll usually just like grab a bottle of wine or something and smoke weed, and then I got my acoustic guitar, my electric guitar. I got like a guitar in open tuning, and I'll try to like just pass them around, just get word on. Sometimes when you pick up a guitar, it's like, okay, you just go to the same thing. And you're like, I guess I'm not really feeling it. So whatever, pick one up in open D and see what happens.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just kind of you play with it, and something's gonna happen if you keep forcing it. Essentially,
I mean, I usually, if I really don't, I just won't play.
Right.
There's plenty of times when I'm just like, I'll do something else with my time right now. I mean, sometimes I'll just like edit songs and like go through and like make sure the wording of stuff is like as good as it could be.
I spend
just as much time.
You're being very modest. This dude is obsessed with guitar. He's making it sound like,
they're
pick it up
beautiful.
here.
I love
them. Joe loves guitar. You're obsessed with music.
You're
obsessed with music. You play a ton, and that's pretty incredible. But I'd like to talk to me and Sam. Sam, what do you do when you're not feeling inspired to do what you should be doing?
Oh my God, I had this horrible bout of being uninspired with photography and video this summer, and it was frustrating. It was so frustrating. I just like couldn't get what I wanted, so I actually made an Instagram post about it. I was just like, I have to I can't set the camera down. I'm not that type of person, so I had to just fight through it and continue to shoot as much as possible, and then I just came out of it. That's literally my method. It's like, you know what? Then learn a part of the subject that you don't know well. So what I did was during that time, I really, really focused on working in slow motion codecs. So I was really learning like when a lot of people like to throw slow motion on anything, and I was like, when is it important to the story to throw slow motion on? So for like a month I did that, and that ended up breaking me out of it. So nice. I'm the type of person who's like, I got to keep doing it. If I give up on it, I'll get even more uninspired.
Yeah,
that's me.
Discouraged even. It's like your way of not getting discouraged even. It's like you don't feel like you're letting it get the best of you.
Yeah. I do though that. In those times of being uninspired, I'll watch some YouTube, but then I have to cut it off because you'll start to live in that world of like, well, I could be there, and look at what I'm doing is leading me to being uninspired. It's like you gotta get rid of all that stuff and just keep going, man.
I was definitely gonna say the same thing about YouTube. Sometimes if I'm not feeling something, I'll check out some stuff on YouTube and get pumped on what other people are doing, or they'll share, techniques I don't know, or give me ideas, and that kind of re-inspires me. And then even on the day-to-day, sometimes I'm, been using the camera so much, I'm just not feeling it. It's not clicking for me. I just like keep pushing through that shoot, and then eventually, something will start working, and I get all pumped again. I'm just like, oh, this is, this is sweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited again.
For the video and photo world, you really just got to push through.
Yeah.
Almost every shoot we start, the first hour, I'm kind of like freaking out. I'm like, oh man, this isn't going well. And then you just keep pushing. And then all of a sudden you see the perspective because you're seeing something through a lens, which isn't our vision,
Yeah.
Well, you're well into your 10,000 hours. What is your goal? Do you want to be a master musician? Like, where are you heading with guitar?
I would just hope that I can continue to facilitate songs, whether they're my own or someone else's, and just kind of just keep developing, honestly, an ear for it more than anything else, and be able to like meet it up with like the technical ability to actually be able to get your fingers there.
Cool.
I guess what I mean. I'm not trying to like, I think the days of like Cream, like, oh, they're all masters. Wow, they're I think that's kind of over. I don't think anyone really cares. You know what I mean? You could play 20 chords to 5 people, or you could play 5 chords to 300 people. That's like the saying about like jazz. Like,
right.
Which jazz is cool and all that is cool, but that's never been like what I hunger for. I'm not looking to like I don't know, like crazy solo over key changes, and people will be like, wow, look at the chops on that guy. It's like it's never really been like what makes me tick. I mean, I'm far more often impressed by people that like sit down and play a song they wrote, and it's like 4 chords, 5 chords, and it's like, wow, that's a really good song. You know what I mean?
Like it resonates with you instead of it being like, wow, he's a master.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then if you want, you could hire the guy that can play all the crazy stuff to like work on your song. You know what I mean? I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the people who are incredible too are the ones who will put out a banger that is just a few chords. Because they were able to hear that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, and when there is a certain point where like virtuosity and like creativity meet.
Yes.
But that's a lot more rare than people give it credit for.
For sure.
It really is.
So we had been talking about your band Jivviden a little bit. You guys just released some new singles, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have some material that we have coming out, and we're just like trickling a few tracks out as like what would be like 2 tracks in like pairs.
Dude,
Cool.
that's the way to do it, man. That's how the big groups are doing that now too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because it's just interesting. Like the art of the album has changed so much because music is so much. It's just a lot more rapid the way it comes
consumed.
out. The way that what is considered digestible has changed a lot. So it's like it might be, especially when you're not like a huge band, you might be, or even like you said, even a lot of big bands are doing it that way too nowadays. Yeah. But it's just it seems to be pretty efficient, especially when you're not like, we try not to be too, like, I don't want to be too like precious with our stuff. I like to just get it out there, especially nowadays, because it's not in short supply, so it's as long as it's what you're supposed to do is put it out no matter what. So
right.
It's no sense in like hoarding your songs. Just
are you guys recording on tape still or no?
No, we did.
It's expensive.
It is expensive, and we didn't do this. Yeah, what you would have heard in More Than a Fistful. None of that was all done. We have self-produced all of the things thus far, but I think that might. Well, that is changing now. That's kind of like I think we've kind of made our stake as far as self-producing our stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty happy with like More Than a Fistful and this new album's worth of stuff. As you could hear tidbits of the singles and stuff. It's pretty good approximation.
Yeah, we're listening to it right now. It sounds great.
Yeah,
yeah, we did those ourselves.
But yeah, if you guys listened to podcast episode 3, I was referencing a video I did with a band to get myself back into filmmaking, and that was actually with Joe's band, Jivviden, a few years ago. I'll link the video right here if you're watching on YouTube. Click the link by my finger.
And that was the video, once I saw it, that got me back into film too. So you indirectly had an influence of this whole entire studio.
Yeah, you boys inspired me. I remember...
It's the butterfly effect, man.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I remember being up in my office and premiering it to like just you guys.
Yeah.
And just the stokedness. Yeah, that was a cool project. Alex helped out with too. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys have come a long way since then. And it's cool to watch you guys grow and listen to music you produce, Are you involved with a couple other projects as well then? You dabble in a couple other bands.
Well, I play guitar for John's little sister. This is Jess Sycon's band, which is Matt's sister. and I play with her live, and I've worked on a lot of her new material out in Austin and San Antonio this past year. So I play some bass and some guitar and some percussion stuff on that.
Nice.
And I contributed to a lot of Chris Sycon stuff. Ohio Civil Power is his group. He's in El Paso now.
Mm-hmm.
And we recorded out in Austin, and I played mostly bass for his stuff, and we did a show out there, and I played bass for him, and we did like a college radio thing in San Antonio, and
Sweet.
I played bass for him.
So it's safe to say that you like collaborating with Sycons.
Yeah, just on accident. You know,
No,
they're all
that's
really
funny.
talented.
They are,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna-
Crazy
Talented
musicians, that family, yeah.
Yeah, they're one of those.
Like crazy good, I
All
mean.
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you got any shows coming up or any
March
new releases
1st.
you want to tell us about?
March 1st, I don't know when this is going to air, but March 1st we have a show at Mahal's, and that'll be our last. That's all we have in Cleveland for booked and that's the only thing in foreseeable future, really. That's going to be the next one.
Sweet. And where can people find your stuff?
Look us up on
All social media?
Spotify, Apple Music, however you do it. That's
Mhm.
the best thing is just if you listen to it, stream it, and follow us or put us in playlists.
We'll link you in this description as
That's
well.
underrated, man. Putting people in playlists is huge because then other people are
Fucking
playing. You guys get paid in the plays. Yeah,
It's
so
alright.
you can do. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
No, it's really big. It is huge. I'm actually just learning a lot about because you have to be kind of learn the other side of the industry. I feel like at
Absolutely.
least a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're not ignorant. It's never good to be ignorant to stuff.
Right.
You should try to learn about it, especially if you're in it. But I just recently learned how important that stuff is, which is it feels unfortunate sometimes because social media and how the way it plays into it.
Totally.
Being in a band, it kind of feels it feels a little bit silly sometimes. Why would our photos on Instagram have anything to do with music? Because
Right.
it really doesn't, but
No.
it does.
It's
Yeah.
a way to reach
Yeah.
new people
So you got to
really.
adapt or just don't worry about it.
and
But
stay
it's your
current in
choice.
people's minds.
Also,
Yeah.
if there is a success story, the ending outcome in 2019, I think, is a lot better than it was even 20, 30 years ago. Because lots of times bands would just get stuck in these contracts, and now you'll have a decision to self-produce, or
Yeah.
you can pick who you want to record through. You can self-distribute.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. Absolutely. As far as in the same way as there's so much content, it also makes you free to be able to make content.
Yeah,
you know
whatever
what I
you
mean?
want.
Yep.
A lot of the traditional ways that recording studios and session musicians used to work is out the window now. But there's new markets. You're still. If you have, if songs are there, you could still have some fun with it and go play places.
Yeah.
And
Keep posting, man. You guys, I love what you're doing
Gotta
now.
post.
Posting those tracks the way you're doing.
yeah, thanks. Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. Not that this relates to you at all, but that Post Malone story blows my mind. How he posted his track and got the retweets on it, and then he's literally just a sensation.
Oh, is it for the White
It was
Iverson?
White Iverson, yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that literally
He was nothing.
That's crazy.
Before
his
that.
friends were trying to get him not to post it, and he's like, you know what, guys, I'm sick of this. He posted it overnight. Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller tweeted it, and then the rest is history. It's
Yeah,
not that it
that could be all it takes. You never know.
yeah,
man.
just don't be
Mhm.
afraid
You
to
never
post.
know.
And there's a lot of stories of the same caliber on YouTube of people who are like, I wasn't gonna post that video, but then I just was like, you know what, I'll get it out there, and then that was the one that took them.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's what are you gonna do with it? You might as well put it out. I mean, keep
Yeah.
it for yourself if you want to keep it.
For sure,
There's a
there's
lot
nothing
of
wrong
good-
with that.
There's
But-
a lot of good groups that I think are really great. Like maybe local bands that I think are maybe even way better than a lot of bands that are way bigger, but they just don't. They're not trying to be. They don't really. They're busy with other things in life, and it's their passion project. I think they make.
Right.
They're good enough at it. They're better than me at. You know what I mean? It's just how much you want to get from it is from person to person. I would say. You know what I mean?
I
For
feel
sure.
that.
I feel like if you're stressing about it and stressing about business aspects of something that's supposed to be fun, then it's time to step back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
That's something that I've had to learn through my own.
One last thing. What genre would you describe your music as?
Is that the worst question?
This is the worst one,
Oh,
Mark.
God.
We almost escaped it. I don't know. It's you played the track, didn't you?
Yeah.
We'll play it again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
playing.
What do you
This
think
is
it
the
is?
genre. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah,
It's like
kinda
it's rock and roll.
yeah, it's a new
Yeah, it's not very heavy. But
new
it's
edge
like,
of rock and roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Folky.
man.
With
It's
like
got a folk-
blues,
it's got some
classic,
folk,
psychedelic inspirations, and your new
Yeah.
edge twist to it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Should
That's
we
just,
do
I just was
genres for albums, bro?
spewing crap out.
That's usually some sort of neo-genre magical.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in and listening to the podcast. If you're going to be in the Cleveland area on March 1st, make sure to check out Jivviden.
Mahals with Mahalos and.
This is a band you do
Phoenix
not want to
Fire
miss. If you
Dude,
haven't
these
seen them
guys are
yet, check
great.
them out.
Great live.
If
Fun
you're
to watch
looking-
live. I haven't been to a show in a while. I'll
Thank
come
you.
to that one.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something new to listen to, check them out. They're great. Thanks for coming
Thank
on,
you.
Joe.
Thank you so much.
It was
guys.
fun having
appreciate
you.
it, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, make sure you guys put some questions below in the comment area.
We're waiting for
Like
those
this
questions.
video,
Where are the
5-star it, whatever. Give us some love. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.